I'm back, Biff.
Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
I'm not buying till I check on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check on Ford.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
The weather will affect you every day, whether it's good or bad. The storm track.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. I have faith in you, pal, that you know what you're doing.
Walker. Weather coverage you can count on, working for you.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. A mix of clouds and sunshine through the afternoon. A daytime high near 44. Cold through the overnight with temperatures down to 29 under partly cloudy skies. You'll see clouds, no sunshine in the forecast for your Friday with temperatures near 33. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Hello, old friends.
And welcome back.
Here's an excuse to hold your family, friends, and loved ones a little tighter.
I need a hug.
I need a hug. Today is National Hugging Day.
Does someone need a hug?
I think I need a hug.
I'm hugging.
It is National Hugging Day across the country.
Are we hugging? Bring it in. We're hugging.
Hug it out.
Okay, a quick one. Come on, hug it out.
It's showtime.
This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard behind the board in the producer's chair.
Thursday morning, hour number 3. We have been all over the field so far this morning, and we have plenty more places to go before I say sayonara to you and turn things over to Kercheval at 10. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took their oaths of office yesterday in a powerful and reassuring ceremony, kicking off a ceremonial day. We'll still reflect a bit more on that and listen in to a little bit of what was happening yesterday. With the ceremony behind us, I want to thank Senator Manchin for having joined us last hour to talk about the inauguration, to talk about the Senate work that is yet to be done, to talk about the impeachment. Had some good conversation with the senator in the last hour of the show. If you missed it, I'll have it up on podcast this afternoon sometime. So check the podcast page of watchdognetwork.com for that interview. Personally, I'm real excited to have successfully made a COVID vaccine appointment, but I didn't make it. My wife made it. But I was one of the lucky ones, and there's tons of frustration going around about people who couldn't get through on the phone lines, and it's been a system that has not worked very well. I don't believe all the conspiracy things that are out there. I don't think anybody's trying to screw it up. It's just there are problems. We'll talk more about that. Got some text coming in on that, and we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. As in-person classes continue, the state school board deliberates what to do with counties not following their directive, and both the teachers' unions have now filed suit against that mandate. We'll continue our conversation about that. It's going to be a breezy day today. Zach Petty at the Big 7 says winds will be the dominant factor of the day. The temperature going to get up to 42, but winds will make it feel colder than that. Mostly cloudy today. Might see a patch of sunshine, little pockets of sunshine throughout the day today. No threat of any precipitation. Currently, 32 degrees and even freezing at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. And there's a feels-like temperature because of the winds of 22 degrees. 32 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 32 here at my home studios, and 32 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. It's a big building and a big business that operates its headquarters out of East Wheeling, the Ziegenfelder Company. Yes, the home of the Twin Pops, which I got to tell you, we have a freezer full of here in the Monroe household. I always claim it's because the 5-year-old grandson wanted to eat them, but let's be honest, every time he gets one, he says, I say, Teddy, could you get one for Granddad too? Because who doesn't love the Twin Pops? Ziegenfelder, though, is a company that has a real commitment to their employees. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And so the president, Barry Allen, agreed to come on and chat with us a bit about that this morning. Barry, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ms. Monroe. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your being here. You guys have had, I want to talk about this bonus you're doing as a specific example, but Ziegenfelder has always had a really strong commitment to employees, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It really, doing what we do, first of all, is not easy, packing pops. So we pack pops in a bag every day, probably 2 million a day. And it's not an easy job, and it's not for everybody. And so we figured out a long time ago, if you want to keep people employed, you got to treat them right. That was number one. But besides it being the right thing to do, right? I mean, we're a third-generation business. My wife was just retired last year. Lisa Allen was the CEO, and she's a third generation. Her grandfather, then her father, then her. And, she just comes from great values and a family that just believes in treating people right. So she laid those ground rules for us over the years of just from just treating them right, and giving people second chances, understanding that people fail and make mistakes. She started a program where we hired, people coming out of prison, work release. We had people from the local jail, wearing ankle bracelets coming to work. She was a proponent of our recovery-friendly drug force program that we started, where we give people 3 strikes instead of 1. And what we found out was, people make mistakes, but they need a place to work and a place to go that's safe, and they can make a living and feed their family. And we've just been really fortunate in Wheeling, West Virginia, and we have a plant in Denver and in Chino, California, but in Wheeling is the majority of where our folks are. We've just been really fortunate that we get people that come to work and they feel safe and they make a difference. They create smiles. We say our product makes people smile with really cool treats, but we literally last year, our folks created over 800 million smiles around the country.
Well, as I said, you sort of do it in the Monroe household. I let everyone think it's my grandson that wants the Twin Pops, but if he's going to have one, Granddaddy has to have one too. So,
that's great.
We are never without here in our freezer. Barry, when people hear about your Second Chance program for employees, though, you must get raised eyebrows, right? I mean, people go, "What?"
Yeah, you do. You get, you really do, and it was really at first, I got to admit, it took a lot of us time to kind of, think through it. And I remember we met with parole officers and local police chief and prisons, and you just have to learn. I think so much of us are not educated. If we haven't dealt with that part of society. We hadn't been to prison. We hadn't, you don't really know. You're outside looking in, and the more we learned, I think when it really became real to me was when the halfway house was in Wheeling, and people would get off the bus, and they wouldn't have anything and anywhere to go, and for me, then it became real, because if they go back to doing what they're doing, they're going to go back to jail, and it's just a revolving bad cycle. And if you can offer people an opportunity to grow and put a roof over their head, not to be homeless, and to put food in their stomach, you can break the cycle. And I think the biggest thing is people, they look at people and say, well, they're just going to fail again. And you know what? They're right. They're like people that are addicted. They do. But at what point do you give up on them? And I would say that what we've learned is the first time you don't, the second time you don't, and the third time you don't. And sometimes it's 4 and sometimes it's 1, depending on the individual. But you do get raised eyebrows. I remember meeting with a local business. I won't mention their name. And I remember saying, hey, we're going to start this organization. We'd like to get a group of people together. It wasn't necessarily second chance hiring, but they were like, yeah, we just don't want to do that. We just kind of want to fly under the radar. And so the majority of people don't understand it, don't get it. And I'll tell you something else, Howard. It comes with headaches, right? I mean, it comes with headaches. Your employees that are there that's never done anything wrong, that do fine every day, they're caught back, right? They're like, well, I'm not sure we want to be working side by side with these people.
Yeah.
And so you have to deal with that. But at the end of the day, Howard, if we don't give them a chance, who is?
What do your second chance employees themselves feel about it? I talk about raised eyebrows from sort of outsiders looking in. When you're offering some of these folks who are parolees or coming off a rehab program or something a chance to get a job, I mean, do they raise their own eyebrows and go, are you sure? Do you know about me? I don't know if that you get that or not. I'm curious if that's the way some of them feel about themselves.
No, I don't think we do. I think, first of all, everybody that's getting out, or everybody that's recovering, or everybody doesn't want to go to work. In reality, everybody doesn't want to move forward. They, for whatever reason, and we've been real fortunate with the local jail in Wheeling of meeting with the leadership there. They would give us a group of people they felt like would be the best for us, and we kind of started that way. And honestly, some people make it, some people don't. I mean, they come. What we saw is a lot of people come out, and when they're on the work release program, and they do really good while they're working, and once they get out in society, they shift. So, what we've realized is that we need to continue to build on our program. Now, like I said, we've had some success stories, we've had some not success stories, but we've not given up. Right? We're still moving forward. We're still trying to figure out how to get better at what we do. But for the most part, the folks that come with us that come to work, they're very transparent. We do background checks, and we talk about what they did. There's some things we don't. Some people with certain circumstances we don't hire, and we're candid about that. And some that we work with. And we try to vet each situation. Like it just depends, but you have to vet it and do your homework. And everybody doesn't get an opportunity, but honestly, most people do. And what we've started doing a few years ago was building a people and culture team, and we're building the groundwork for a future of how to best handle these individuals. And one of my long-term goals is to have an in-house counselor or a person, social worker that can work with individuals and help them, get access to driver's license and health care and recovery programs and transportation and housing. And we have a whole long-term plan of working on employee housing and daycare and social work. And we're nowhere near getting there. But we've seen that if we're going to continue to help people and give second chances, we're going to have a program to help people. They can't just come in and clock in, go to work, and see the HR lady when they leave. We've got to give them more attention. And there's just a lot to it. So a lot of companies don't want to do that. It's an investment, right? I mean, It's just an investment. So it's a challenge, but at the same time, it's very rewarding.
We're talking to Barry Allen, as the president of Ziegenfelders, headquartered here in Wheeling, about the way they handle employees and their commitment and belief in employees. There are a number of examples of your employee commitment that pop to my mind, including the big fire that happened. It's been 2 years ago? I lose track of time.
Yeah,
but
January 31st,
you had a big fire.
2018.
Yeah, you had a big fire. Had to take your operations down for a while or reduce them for a while, and yet you made a real effort to try and keep all of your employees, or as many as you could, working even during those down times, right?
Yes, sir. We paid every employee. We were down 2 weeks on most of our lines, and then the third week we kind of got back up going, and then in about a month we were moving in a good direction. But yeah, for those 3 to 4 weeks, we every morning we brought everybody in at 8 a.m. and we met with them, a couple hundred employees down on 19th Street, and we fed them breakfast, and then they went off and they did training, and we took them over to the local college, and then we trained there, and then we had some people working, and then they came back and they had lunch, and they went home in the afternoon, and we paid everybody for 8 hours a day for their regular schedule for almost a month. Yeah, we didn't let they never missed a meal.
That's amazing. How has COVID impacted your business?
Honestly, we had a really good year. We had one of the best years we probably ever had. We were deemed essential by the government. You don't think about Twin Pops, Munster Pops, Pops being a necessity. But a bag of our Pops cost $2.27 in Washington, D.C., Washington State, Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas, New York, Indiana, Arizona. So they're really reasonable, and I think as tough as the economy is, people could always count on a great product at a great value, and we were always on the shelf. And we were on the shelf because our employees came to work every day through this COVID adversity, every COVID adversity you could think of. And it affected us in ways, so it didn't affect us as much in production as far as we could serve our customers, which we were very thankful for. But, from extra precautions of, whether it's plexiglass or mask, or, for people to be on a production line, you don't think much about it with a mask on and their glasses fogging up. It's dangerous. Your hands are in machinery. Those things are a big deal. 6 feet apart in meetings, maintaining a 24-hour plant where there, extra cleaning opportunities for us. Obviously, you have people that we had to protect our vulnerable class. We had people that we helped retire. We had people that we gave time off. The government paid, for I think 80 hours for them if they needed to be off. We supplemented some of that. There were stay-at-home orders, shelter-at-home orders, but our folks just kept moving through it, and we just worked with them, and we were really blessed. We didn't have any major outbreaks. We did have an issue. We had an outbreak in I think December in California. Then, we made it all year to them. We had a small outbreak in December in Denver. In Wheeling, we have really been blessed. We've had a couple of issues, but we've not had to shut down lines because of it. And we've just, I give our plant leadership directors, our safety, our quality teams really a lot of credit because they managed through that. We had a daily task force meeting. They met every day. We put precautions in place where they had to, have to sign a form every day. We took our time clock down where people weren't touching the time clock every day. We did everything manual. So it's affected us. But what we were able to do, again, is create over 800 million smiles around the country last year through all this adversity when the world, you turn on the news, is falling apart.
You decided to reward your employees with a COVID bonus.
Yeah, we like I said, we had a really good year, and we do profit share anyways for employees, and we were going to do that anyways. And we got together as a leadership team and said, look, we've had a good year, a better year than usual. We're going to profit share anyways. And what we really decided to do is to triple that profit share and say, look, we're gonna do this. Why wouldn't we do it? Why wouldn't we do it? Yeah, we're growing. We things are good, but things could change too. And you don't know what's going to happen with COVID. We think we're moving through it, right? But another reason we did it too is if something happens in the next 30, 40 days where we do have to shut down, we're kind of, we're saying, look, we're going to take care of you in advance too. So we're kind of trying to make sure that we're thinking about it holistically, long term. I mean, we're not planning on shutting down, but reality is this is a way to get in front of it. Another thing is, honestly, right in December when the government was talking about how much they were going to, a $2,000 check, a $600 check, I said, look, why wouldn't? So we gave checks from $2,000 to $2,500 to $3,000. I said, when they said $600, I thought, people out in the country, they don't even know what they're going to get, when they're going to get it, how they're going to get it. This administration, I said, we can guarantee them what they're going to get. We can guarantee them. We can stand up in front of 300 employees and say, if you've been here a minimum of a year, you're going to get $2,000. If you've been here 1 to 5 years, you're going to get $2,500. And if you've been here over 5 years, you're going to get $3,000. Guaranteed. All you got to do is work here.
I wish more businesses would understand the value of treating employees the way you guys do. Do you talk to other businesses, either locally or nationwide, about the philosophy you have and about how it works? Because it certainly, does my heart good to hear this kind of conversation, to hear about companies that treat their employees this way, that believe in their employees this way.
Well, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. We're just a little bit popsicle company, honestly, and people have written stories and stuff, and we've talked to. We have traveled around the country to different businesses, but most of those businesses, honestly, have been that are doing what we're doing or doing a lot better than what we're doing, and we've learned from them. Honestly, we've met with companies all over the country to learn how they do things and how they treat their employees and special programs they have. So we learned a lot, but we do talk. We're on different boards and we talk obviously in the city of Wheeling and talk to other businesses. But again, I think for the most part, I think all businesses in Wheeling and around the country, I think most people have good hearts and they have the right mindset. I just think it's people don't wake up in the morning and think, most people in business think profit first, right? They don't think people first. We always say people, profit, growth. People first. And that's just the way we think. Because honestly, we can't, and like I said when I started off, we bag pops by hand 2 million a day. I mean, that's I'm not exaggerating. That's what we do. That's what people do. When you see our product in the store, they are hand bagged, and we're really transparent because if they don't look good, people are just not gonna buy them. So they got to be done right, and people do that. And so we stand on the shoulders of our 300 employees, and so I can't really speak for other business. I don't think businesses by general have a think bad or I just don't think they. When people go into business, the first thing you look at is how much money I can make. What can our product make a difference? And I get all that, but I'm telling you, our foundation, for my wife being a third generation, I can tell you that her family, their beliefs were to take care of people and treat people right, and everything else will work out.
Barry, I got to tell you, as a resident of the city of Wheeling, I feel really privileged that we have a business like yours in town. I've always been a believer that if you invest in people, the profits will follow. And it sounds as if you are certainly proving that to be the case. I really, really commend you and Lisa and the whole team there. And all your employees and your workers as well. I mean, it's just it's a tremendous thing that you guys are doing, and I'm glad we had a chance to chat about it. And now I'm thinking probably after I get off the air this morning at 10, I may just go out and have a couple of twin pops from the freezer.
Well, listen, Howard, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that and having me on, and I'd love to come on and chat anytime, and if I can talk. We're looking to hire 50 new employees, right? And so, people in Wheeling, we're growing. We're putting in 2 more production lines. We just invested $15 million on 18th Street. We're going to be growing in Denver. We're really we're serious about what we do. And, we offer a career path, quarterly incentives, matching 401k, healthcare benefits, monthly lunches, birthday gift card, $10 for your birthday, $25 for Christmas, recovery-friendly drug force, second chance hiring. We offer a work culture. We got a brand new state-of-the-art employee locker rooms and break room, and it's just really a cool place. I'd love, for you and your grandson, or if you want to come by and take a tour, just call me anytime. We'd love to show you around and show you how pops are made.
I think that'd be great. I would love to. Teddy would. You have to have some extra pops for him, though, because he would, not be able to go through without.
We'll get him right off the line. All you got to do is call.
There we go. Barry, I really appreciate your time this morning. Again, I appreciate the work you do, but I thank you for joining me today. And we'll talk again. We'll talk again and pursue some more conversation. But for the moment, thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good day. Barry Allen is president of Ziegenfelders. Biffy, it's just nice to see companies that invest in their employees, isn't it? I mean, all the things he was talking about, beginning with the fact that they have what they call their second chance hiring system, where people that have a hard time getting a job can get a job, and then they provide them with all the perks and benefits and even a bonus. I think the total number I saw, I want to make sure I have my number right before I quote it here. I want to say, it was the total as COVID bonuses that they handed out recently, $750,000.
Oh, yeah.
$750,000.
Man, I mean, that's great.
Wonder if they can eat free popsicles too.
I'm sure that's in there. I would imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I may take him up on that offer, though. Teddy and I could go and take a look at how the popsicles are made. I'll tell you what, twin pops.
It'd be great. You'd have a little one in Teddy who would I'm sure have a blast, and then you have you who, a big kid that acts like a little kid. So I think it'd be perfect.
I think you might be right. I appreciate what Ziegenfelders does, and I appreciate what Barry coming on with us this morning. I was thinking, he was talking about during the fire of, I guess it was 2018, he said, and they kept all their employees on and kept them all working. You remember the big fire when I worked at the radio station on the Hill, what's it been, 25 years ago? How long has it been? Over 20 years ago, I guess. Had the big New Year's Eve fire, and the entire building burned down, all the equipment burned down. And fortunately, our bosses kept paying us. And the best thing was we would have once a week, we would have a get-together meeting, and it was usually at a bar. And we'd get together and talk about, plans for when we got back to work and what we're going to do to get the radio station going again. And then they'd give us a check, and we'd stay at the bar. I mean,
what else are you going to do?
Yeah, well, that's right. But they kept the checks coming. I mean, and we were off for a couple of months. So companies that care about their employees make a huge difference. And again, I was listening to him at the very end, just run down the different things they do for their employees. That's the kind of company you want to have in your town. They do a really good job. All right, 9:35, 25 till the hour, Watchdog Morning Show for a Thursday. Maybe we'll go back to the inauguration for a little bit coming up in the next half hour, see what our friends at the Big Seven are working on today. And who knows what else will happen. I quite frankly, I never know. You can join me on the phone line if you like to at 304-232-8255. Text line 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. Text us, call us, whatever strikes your fancy. My fancy is struck right now by Metro News.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Miffy, I think I'll do a starter block next in the next segment, unless we have any phone calls. Just so you could be prepared for that.
Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Menards has everything you need to make your home a better place to live. Save big money on all the top name brand products you know and love, like Tide and Era laundry detergent, Bounty paper towels, Swiffer dusters, Charmin bath tissue, and more. A 96-load bottle of Era liquid laundry detergent is just $7.99 now at Menards. Prices are good until January 31st.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. A mix of clouds and sunshine through the afternoon. A daytime high near 44. Cold through the overnight with temperatures down to 29 under partly cloudy skies. You'll see clouds, no sunshine in the forecast for your Friday with temperatures near 33. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
Hi, it's Tony Caridi, host of the CityNet Statewide Sports Line right here on Metro News. Join the Senator, Brad Howe, Coach Greg Hunter, and myself as we discuss the day's biggest sports stories, talking with coaches, former players, and sports writers from all over the state and across the nation, bringing you the latest from the high schools, colleges, and the pro game. So don't miss the CityNet Statewide Sports Line weeknights at 6:06 here on the Metro News Radio Network and streaming live at WVMetronews.com.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook. Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-TALK.
It's your turn to talk. From politics to pet peeves. Get it off your chest and on the air. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
32 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Feels like 22 with the wind whipping around a little bit. We're going to get up to a high of 42 twixt now and the end of the day. But 32 at the airport, 32 at my home studios at Elm Grove, 32 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Coming up at 10 o'clock today, statewide talk line with my good friend, Mr. Kirchhoff. He'll continue conversation on the school systems that are holding out against the governor's mandate to be back in class this week. Yesterday there were 5. I think we're down to 3 that are holding out right now. State School Superintendent Clayton Birch will be on with Hoppy today to talk about what the state school board might do. State school board had an emergency meeting yesterday and kind of said, we're going to do something, but didn't do anything. They adjourned and didn't do anything. They'll make some decisions at their next meeting. They could withhold funding. They could declare that kids in that the remote learning being done in those school districts where they're not following the governor's order would not count as official school days on the school calendar, so those have to be made up. I don't understand why you want to punish counties that are trying to do their best in serving their students. They are the elected school boards of the counties. But Hoppy will talk to State School Superintendent Clayton Birch about that coming up today on Statewide Talk Line. Brad McElhenney will be in, and so will Chris Hamilton, the head of the Coal Association in West Virginia, talking about, of course, the fears the Biden administration will destroy the coal industry. Here we go again. Obama destroyed coal. Trump is going to save it. Didn't do that. Now the Biden administration is going to be bad for coal. But Hoppy will talk about that with Chris Hamilton. And Senator Manchin, who was with us earlier this morning, also on with Hoppy. All begins today, 10:06, right here on the Watchdog. 9:45, it is a quarter before the hour. If you have something on your mind, text me or call me, 304-214-1600. Happy to hear from you, either in the text line or on the phone line. I should remind you that the playoffs are coming up this weekend. And if you're looking forward to watching them, maybe you want to bet on them as well. Best place to do that, FanDuel Sportsbook. If you've never tried FanDuel before, this is the perfect time to give it a shot, because right now, new users can get an exclusive 25-1 odds boost on any team to win this weekend. That's right, 25-1 odds, any team, any playoff game this weekend. So don't miss out on this exclusive offer. You can bet on FanDuel all season long. Coming to the end of the season, still time to get into the action. FanDuel is easy to use. That, to me, is one of the biggest things for newcomers, especially to online gaming. It's very intuitive, very easy to register, very easy to deposit, very easy to find your bet. When you do win, and I hope you do, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 24 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty fast payback for you. And, of course, every day they have odds boosts and specials, some big super boosts every weekend as well. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use my name, Monroe, in the promo code box. That way they know we sent you here from the Watchdog Morning Show. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe. Now, you must be 21 or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. New users only for this deal. You must wager on the designated boost market. Deposit is required. Maximum bonus is $125. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you enjoy gaming, FanDuel's the place to go. If you have a gaming problem, visit www.1800gambler.net. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. 13 to the hour. Let's take a look at some of the sidelights of the news this morning in our starter block.
The most interesting stories aren't always on the front page. Here are some stories in our starter block on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Well, let's kick out food to begin with. How about fast food? New study. Biffy, what state do you think has the most fast food joints per capita?
New York.
It's a good guess. It is number 2. That's number 2. Number 1 is Hawaii, the most fast food places per capita. New York is number 2. Maryland is number 3. Of all 50 states, what is the best state if you love McDonald's?
Florida.
It's West Virginia. It's West Virginia, the pride of every Ronald McDonald. McDonald's is the best state to live in if you like McDonald's, at least as they look at it broken down by capita. Number 1 fast food state overall, as I mentioned, Hawaii. They have 98 fast food places for every 100,000 people. New York, Maryland, Nevada, and Ohio follow in that list. Worst state for fast food, and I've been there, I can believe this, is Alaska. I don't know that I saw a single fast food place in Alaska. They didn't even have Walmart. What was the thing? We drove past a place that was like Wall Willie's.
What? What was it? Wait a minute. Wall Willie's?
Yeah, it was just like some little general store off the side of the road, but it wasn't Walmart, but it was like Wall Willie's. And it's just
okay.
Like some grizzled old prospector just opened the place up. I don't think it was Wall Willie's, but it was Wall somebody's name. I don't remember seeing any fast food places in Alaska. I'm sure there probably were, but I don't remember any. It's the worst state for fast food. So, best state to live in if you like Mickey D's, West Virginia, followed by Arkansas and Kentucky. But I'll tell you what, we're in the top 3 in several states. One of my favorite, Biffy, not yours, KFC.
Well,
West Virginia's in the top 3 for KFC places.
I like KFC. I just don't like certain KFC places.
I gotcha. I understand. 3 in Subway as well. South Dakota, number 1, Wyoming, West Virginia, number 3 in Subway. We were number 1 in McDonald's. We're also number 1 in Burger King. West Virginia, number 1 in Burger King fast food places.
So
followed by Alabama and Louisiana.
So the 3 that you've named so far, we used to have a McDonald's back in the day in town. That's not here anymore. We had a Subway that used to be in town. It's gone. And the only one that's left is the Burger King on the island. That's it.
That's it. That's right. And let's see. Also, we're number 1 for Wendy's. Followed by Ohio and Kentucky. Ohio doesn't surprise me because Ohio is the birthplace of Wendy's. But we're number 1 for Wendy's as well. So we clearly like burgers in West Virginia. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and then KFC. So those are the places where we are number one, or at least in the top three. Subway, we're number 3. KFC, we're number 3. Let me see. Are we anywhere else? Not in Dairy Queen. I would have thought maybe Dairy Queen would have been there. I'll tell you what else I don't see. I guess it's not fast food. I was thinking about Bob Evans. I mean, it's the governor's place after all.
Yeah.
But it's not really fast food, I guess. So that doesn't count. Anyway, I thought it was going to be interesting. But and burgers, we clearly like burgers. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. We're the number one state for fast food, those particular chains per capita in all of West Virginia. This is one that is interesting to me because I am getting older. I know some of you are going, getting older, Howard, you're an old fart. Okay, I am. A new survey of 2,000 grandparents found that 81% of grandparents say getting old is not nearly as bad as they thought it would be when they were younger. And I would concur with that. I mean, I've got all kinds of medical issues, and you know, sometimes I get frustrated with the, you know, with those things. I certainly can't do all the things I could do once upon a time. But you know, if you'd asked me when I was 37, what's life like at 67, I would have said, well, I'll be some old crippled man walking around on a cane. Well, I did use a cane for a while, but as it turns out, I feel good. So 81% of grandparents say getting old is not as bad as they thought it would be. 45% say they are more carefree now than they were when they were younger. So aging is not nearly so bad. And by the way, 75%, 3 out of 4, say they are nothing like their grandparents were at that age, which I certainly think about all the time. When I think of, you know, being Teddy's grandparents, I don't consider Nancy and I the same way I thought of my parents for my kids, you know?
Oh, tread lightly.
I think we're, well, I understand.
Tread,
but I think
tread
we're younger.
lightly.
We're hipper. I think we're younger. We're hipper or something. Hey, here's a young hip guy. Bob Westfall from the Big 7.
Oh, I thought you confused me there by young and hip in the same sentence.
See, I think it's true. Grandparents today are different than grandparents when we were kids. My grandparents were, I didn't even know all my grandparents because they were gone before I was old enough to remember them.
Well, I was lucky. I was pretty lucky. I knew all of mine growing up, but absolutely they're totally different. But you got to figure, well, you know, my grandfather was born in 1899, so I mean, yeah, it's a totally different situation. Now the grandparents that we know now, they grew up in the 60s, so, you know, whatever damage they did back then, probably going to carry on a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's true. I try not to discuss, I hopefully will never have to discuss with Teddy, my grandson, what I did in the 60s and 70s. I just hope that'll be off limits.
You always say you just don't remember.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, for much of the 70s, that's probably true. I don't. Bob, what are you working on this morning at the Big 7?
Several things we're working on. Vaccinations are going on across the tri-state area. Barnesville Hospital is vaccinating today. Trinity in Steubenville is vaccinating today. We've got reporters at both of those places, or we will. Barnesville, Belmont County, Jefferson County, vaccinations continue. I know it's at a slower pace than a lot of people were hoping, but we are moving forward. So we'll have information from a couple of different places that are going on today. Like I said, it's moving forward, but aren't happy with. But we'll continue to follow that story.
Yep, absolutely, and it is frustrating. I get it, you know, but there's not much that we can do at a local or statewide level until there simply is more vaccine available and sent to the states. There's just not much else that can be done.
Right. Wheeling Fire released their fire stats today. We'll be sitting down with the chief this morning to go over those numbers to see what's up, see what's down. I know we've seen the numbers of the overdoses, things like that have increased over the past year. But we're going to take a look at all the fire stats and see what's going on with Wheeling Fire and how the men and women of that department are dealing with everything that's going on. So we're going to sit down with the chief here in a little bit and do a little bit of a story on that.
Sounds good.
Hold on here. We've got a live shot from D.C. today. We're going to follow up on the inauguration yesterday. We're going to continue to follow that as well. A lot of things going on. I know President Biden has signed 17 executive orders. A couple of them actually extended some things up from President Trump, like the evictions and things like that, the moratorium on the eviction. Also overturned some things from the Trump administration. So we're going to kind of go down that list and take a look at what that's all about. So that's something we're taking a look. And we're going to talk to Senator Sherrod Brown from Ohio. He attended the inauguration virtually yesterday due to COVID concerns. But we're going to talk to him this afternoon and get his thoughts on, what's the first 24 hours of the Biden administration and where it goes from here.
So there's lots of good stuff.
So yeah, we're going to be a little bit of everywhere today. So a little bit of everything. We're going to follow up on sports and weather with Scott and Dr. Dave, so we'll have that today as well. So everything we've got also obviously is going to be on social media.
You guys did an interview with I think Barry Allen or someone from Ziegenfelder's yesterday or the day before about their employee bonuses they were giving out.
Yes.
We had him on this morning. I am so impressed with the way that company treats its employees.
Right.
First of all, they give employees who have problems, drug rehab problems, or coming out of prison, they give a second chance to these people to get a job, and they treat them, and they treat them so well. In terms of the benefits are good, profit sharing is good, benefits. Bonuses now handed out. I'm a big believer, Bob, that investing in people eventually leads to better profits.
Right.
And I was really impressed with the conversation with Barry Allen this morning and the commitment they have to their employees.
And beyond that, he's a superhero because Barry Allen is the Flash.
Yeah, he was the Flash.
But anyway, but seriously, it's nice. He's our neighbor in East Wheeling. They've always been good to us as well, as a neighbor. But I echo that as well. It's fantastic. What they do for their employees is just amazing.
They do a good job.
We'll
be watching for you today at noon, 5, 6, 10, 11, 5:30 for the statewide show. And as you pointed out, always on social media and WTRF.com, where the news will always come first. Bob, I'll talk to you tomorrow to wrap up the week. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
And Brother Biff, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, if that's okay with you.
Yep, I'll be here to wrap up the week.
All right, we'll keep on doing it till we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Organization and as Chief Public Health.
All right, Biffy, good job today. And that's the important thing, and we got it done reasonably well. I thought it was pretty good. Manchin was good. Barry was good. God help us, Father Guido was good. Bob kicked us off with irritating me, and that was his intent, so that was good. So it was good all the way around, and it worked out fine. Tomorrow, McCabe, I think that's the only thing I've got, I think. We'll see what else comes up. I've got some medical stuff to deal with today, so I'll be running around a good bit. But As always, if you need me, just, give me a call. I'll be around, or we'll get back to you. Yeah, the Washington News story. Yeah, save that. The first sentence is dated because it says Trump leaves office today. But other than that, the story is still good. So, yeah, let's save that. I kept my script for it here as well, so we'll do that. Didn't get to any of the audio cuts I had planned to, but that's okay. I'd rather do other stuff. It worked out okay. All right. Thanks for your help as always. And unless I hear from you during the day today, I'll talk to you in the morning. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Single winning ticket for the $731 million Powerball jackpot was sold in Allegheny County, Maryland. We know the store, but not the ticket holder. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's the dirt on dust. It may seem fine, but it's actually made of dead skin cells and dust mite droppings. That's where Swiffer heavy-duty dusters come in, with thousands of specially coated fibers to trap and lock dust in one swipe. Dust can't hide on ceiling fans and bookshelves anymore. When you're done, just remove the disposable cloth and voila! That